the SS2 students of SIPS are here to discuss a topic entitled Progress and Benefits of Science and Technology to Education. Concerning the progress of science and technology to education, what do you have?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. The early men saw the need to hunt, gather food for agriculture, and eventually build structures. They soon found that the need to count objects. The results of this is done by scribbling temporary or permanent marks on mountains, caves, and walls. It was done through the use of mud, clay, chalks, and other objects to make a mark for the man which was to fall.
Thank you, Toyo. That was a tremendous contribution. Deborah, in relation to what Toyo said, um, what are your own views on the progress of science and technology to education?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. As the early man saw that his sphere of influence had increased, he needed stones to help him deal with larger numbers. For example, after harvesting tubers of yam, he piled up stones to help him count. As this sphere continued to increase and science and technology was introduced, a scientist and a mathematician by the name John Napier Bones from the year 1550 to the year 1617 presented an approach to logarithm and exponential sequence. He also created a calculator called the Napier-Bones calculator that dealt with multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. The history of science and technology to education is a very interesting one. In 1642, a man named Blaise Pascal created the first ever calculator called the Pascaline calculator, and this was able to carry out mathematical operations. The invention of this device was as a means of helping his father, who was a tax collector. Secondly, there was the invention of the internet. The internet is a global system of interconnected computers which uses standard protocols to help billions of users worldwide. The invention of the internet has affected science and technology positively.
If I know you are very vast in this topic, please, what are your humble opinions on the progress of science and technology to education?
Okay, soaring through the landscape of our vast history, we can see several attempts made by man to further the course of education. One of such was the invention of the abacus around 6000 BC. It was equipment that could carry out addition and subtraction, and is still very much in use today. It was one of the very advanced as at that time.
Precious, please, can you tighten up our discussion on the progress of science and technology to education?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. The early men did not only require calculating and computing for their survival, they also needed a means by which they could store and maintain information. So pebbles and stones came into existence. They were used for counting of different animals for efficiency and the productivity of their various taxes. It was quite evident that the ancients found it quite stressful using the pebbles and stones. So a scientist by the name Joseph Jacquard-Loom invented the Jacquard-Loom for storage and maintenance of information. Then little by little, new technologies came into existence for that particular purpose. Despite the tremendous and sophisticated equipment required for storage of information, some aged people still use the crude method of calculating and computing for their various taxes. For instance, a woman whom I know, when people come to buy things from her, she tends to store data by using chalks or marker to stroke the wall with regards to the amount of money being given to her. So we can see that science and technology do not just stop, it keeps progressing day by day.
Thank you for your meaningful contribution. With this now, we move on to the benefits of science and technology to education. Toyo, please, can you enlighten us on the benefits of science and technology to education?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. The impact of science and technology in the art of pedagogy, which is the art of teaching, cannot be underestimated. As science and technology has revolutionized the educational sector in the world and in Nigeria in particular, as students and teachers can therefore access information at any given time, as this is the most obvious benefit of science and technology. When old teachers were students, they had to spend hours in library looking for a particular information. But now, with a single Google search, students have been able to write deeper projects and access information faster. Also, different educational apps like Kahoot and Perisy have been developed to make children learn more about a particular information. Also, the widely used app, Facebook, was originally developed by Mark Zuckerberg for students of Harvard University to further their studies more.
Thank you for your detailed explanation. Deborah, with respect to the benefits of science and technology, what is the nexus between them?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Yes, science and technology has helped us all over the world. The introduction of science and technology to education, to many aspects, especially the educational sector, has significantly improved the standard of learning. For example, it encourages homeschooling. Apps such as the U-Lesson have been developed to help students learn from the comfort of their home through online courses. Research has proven that over 90% of students that are homeschooled are doing well in standardized tasks. It has also been proven that 69% out of the 31% of students that attend public and private schools tend to last longer in colleges. Therefore, the introduction of science and technology to education has tremendously improved the advance of our course of learning.
Thank you for your robust insights into our discussion. Ketu, from your own perspective, what are your views on the benefits of science and technology to education?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Owing to the invention of projectors, there has been a paradigm shift from the traditional method of learning, which was being that the student would be at the front of, the teacher would be at the front of the students, and the students will have to copy notes, to the modern method of learning. Now, students who found it hard to understand from the traditional method now have visual concepts of what the tutor is trying to explain to the students. Therefore, the invention of projectors has contributed hugely to education worldwide.
Thank you for your expository analysis, which has illuminated our discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Let me just say that the effect of science and technology on to education cannot be underrated, as it has far-reaching significance. Speaking specifically on the area of research, some parents will agree with me that during the university days, they were giving research topics to go and carry out, and this would to them from one state to another in the federation. Of course, they were bound by time, space, and distance. But now, science and technology, one can carry out these research topics with ease and can give you extensive qualitative and quantitative research work at the end of the day. Also, since there are no more boundaries, one can now have a robust research work. Even in the area of the secondary school, as we all know, we have different learners. Some are virtual learners, I mean like those who have to see what they are being taught before they can actually comprehend it. As the earlier speaker said, that will take care of the use of the projector. Also in the area of calculations, tremendous time was spent on carrying calculations of very long and complex problems. But now with the use of calculator, such can be carried out with ease and at a faster pace.
Thank you for your elaborate presentation. Precious, can you summarize the benefits of science and technology to education?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, for giving me this opportunity once again to give my opinions on this concept. We are surrounded by technology and the products of science in our everyday lives. As children grow up in an increasingly technologically and scientifically advanced world, they need to be scientifically literate to succeed. Gone are the days of placing a poster board back and forth for every project. Nowadays, science and technology has made it possible to allow students to engage in project-based and nature-based learning without much difficulties. This project helps students to do more critical thinking and leadership memorization. And these critical thinking skills lead to natural human necessities, which are a result of science and technology. They lead to asking questions: what is the problem? Creating an hypothesis: how do I solve this problem? Testing the results and evaluating the results. Will the solution work? And making solutions based on that result. This is problem solving. Science and technology has helped in the development and enhancement of these skills. An individual with these critical thinking skills always have success during and after schools. Therefore, science and technology is beneficial to the educational sector because it gives every individual the critical thinking skills they need in every aspect.
Thank you for your fantastic contribution. With this, we have come to the end of the talk show. Hope you all have been adequately informed about the benefits and progress of science and technology. Thank you.
As a parent, I have always asked, how can I prepare my children for the infrastructural development and socio-economic evolution of the next decade? With the ongoing speed of globalization, how can I position my children to perform excellently in a rapidly changing society? The answer is and has always been to give them a solid foundation, academically, spiritually, and morally. Salvation International Preparatory Schools, with her team of highly qualified tutors, conducive environment for learning, state-of-the-art computer and science laboratories coupled with quality day and boarding facilities, is the place to be. For more information, contact 080-233-76135. SIPS remains the birthplace of leaders.
I consider it a great privilege and pleasant duty and a thing of joy to welcome you all to this year's graduation of Crown-Giving Day ceremony of our school, SIPS, which is always on the upward trend of progress on all metrics for development. It is most gratifying that our school has successfully concluded the 2020-2021 academic year, which ends through the conduct of today's event. This is quite laudable when juxtaposed with the novel COVID-19 pandemic, which has not still disappeared completely. You can still wear my face mask still. We give God all the glory for allowing us parents, teachers, management, staff, and students to witness the events of today. The PTSA wishes to acknowledge the President, management, staff, and students of SIPS for tireless and selfless individual and collective efforts in making this day a reality. It is indeed worthy of celebration. We wish to express profound gratitude to parents for their supportive roles in the symbiotic relationship in molding our students in academic pursuits and moral rectitude. We are indeed partners in progress for the development of our children and our dear country, Nigeria. Please, parents, please clap for yourself for the good role you are playing. It's not easy. You are doing great for your children, for our country, and for SIPS. We wish to appreciate the management, teaching, and non-teaching staff of SIPS for their dedication, diligence, and selfless service to the school. I'm pleased to report to you that the courtesy of the effort of the President, management, and other staff of the school has wanted to maintain high standards of discipline as enunciated in the school regulations. The performance of our SS3 students in the June 2021 JAM was salutary, iconic, and superlative. I hate you guys so much. We congratulate all graduate students, senior secondary, junior secondary, primary, indeed the nursery, the greatest of them all. We urge you to sustain and indeed strive to improve upon this success of your achieved status. There's what we call achieved status and ascribed status. The ascribed status is where you get because of your parents, even because of the school. I'm a graduate of SIPS. It's an ascribed status. Yes. Because me, I'm very proud to be a parent in SIPS because the high standards of morality, of spiritual development, of academic excellence. This is not all clap for ourselves. We are in very good company as members, as stakeholders of the SIPS venture.
For more information, contact 080-233-76135.